Hi friends, this book is called My Very First Winnie the Pooh, Pooh's Neighborhood. It's by Kathleen Zoehfeld and illustrated by Cuddy. I say it's a splendid day in the neighborhood, said Owl. It's a nice day here, too, said Winnie the Pooh. Exactly what I'm saying, said Owl. A perfectly splendid day in the neighborhood. Which neighborhood we are talking about, said Pooh. Neighborhood, said Owl. Our neighborhood. The place where we live and where all our neighbors live are neighborly. Oh, said Pooh, it is a splendid day, isn't it? Quite, said Owl. Now I'm off for an owl's eye view. He flew up and circled once around Pooh's house. What did it look like from up there? Called Pooh. I can see the 100-acre woods spread out below me, said Owl, and it's a fine place indeed. As Owl flew off, Pooh began to think about what it means to live in a neighborhood, and he thought perhaps he would bring a neighborly present to his closest neighbor Piglet. He took a honey pot out of his cupboard and tied a nice blue ribbon around it. Then he tucked it comfortably under his arm and stumped down the path toward Piglet's house. But when he reached his thoughtful spot, which is halfway between his house and Piglet's, Pooh suddenly had a thought. I could take this path straight to Piglet's house, or I could go up the path and around the whole neighborhood, and sooner or later the path would take me to Piglet's house anyway, and that is what he did. After he had walked for a time, he came to the house where Kanga and Roo live. Hello, Kanga, said Pooh. I'm just on my way to deliver this neighborly present to Piglet. But Pooh, dear, Piglet lives that way, said Kanga, pointing down the very path by which Pooh had come. Yes, said Pooh, but today I'm going the long way. Oh, I see, said Kanga. In that case, perhaps you should join us for a snack. Come on, Pooh, cried Roo. We're going to the picnic spot. Pooh said he was feeling a bit 11 o'clockish. So they all went together past Sandy Pit where Roo plays up to the picnic spot to share a little something. Half an hour and one picnic basket later, Pooh thanked Kanga, tucked Piglet's honey pot back under his arm, and stumped down the path toward Rabbit's house. Hello, Rabbit, called Pooh. I'm on my way to Piglet's to give him his neighborly present. If you're going to Piglet's house, what are you doing there? Asked Rabbit. I'm going the long way, said Pooh. More likely the wrong way, if you ask me, said Rabbit. But since you're here, would you mind taking these carrots to Christopher Robin? I promised he'd had them in time for lunch. Well, at least the mention of the word lunch. Pooh noticed that his tummy was feeling just a teensiest bit rumbly. I'd be happy to, he said. With carrots under one arm and a honey pot under the other, he walked along until he came to a place where the stepping stones crossed the stream. 1, 2, 3, 4. He counted as he teetered from stone to stone. 8 or 9 of Rabbit's friends, relations heard Pooh and peeked out their window and doors. Pooh shouted, "Hello!" Rabbit's friend and relations waved. There's his family. Pooh marched across open slopes of heather and up steep banks of sandstone until, at last, tired and hungry, he arrived at Christopher Robin's door. "Oh, my carrots!" cried Christopher Robin happily. "Thank you for delivering them. It seemed the neighborly thing to do," said Pooh proudly. "Would you like to join me for lunch?" Christopher Robin asked. And Pooh said, "Well, I really am on my way to Piglet's to bring him this present, but I don't see why I couldn't stop just for a little while." After lunch and a longish snooze, Pooh was back on his way. He walked down the path through the little pine wood and climbed over the gate into everyone's gloomy place, which was where everyone lived. Which where Eeyore lived. "Hello, Eeyore," said Pooh. "I was just on my way to Piglet's house with his neighborly present." "Not coming to visit me?" said Eeyore. "I didn't think so. It's been such a busy week already. Why, only 4 days ago, Tigger bounced me on his way to the swimming hole. How many visitors can you expect, really?" And Pooh, feeling rather badly now, offered Eeyore a nice lick of honey. Pooh opened the jar, and Eeyore peered in. He looked back up at Pooh. Pooh peered in. "Empty," he said. "That's what it looked like to me," said Eeyore. "Oh, bother," said Pooh. He stumped off glumly, trying to think how he was going to tell Piglet about the neighborly present Piglet was not going to get. Pooh had almost arrived at the place where the woozle wasn't, and was decided to take the long path around it, just in case the woozle was, when he saw Owl flying over. "I've seen our whole neighborhood today," Pooh told him, "but now I have no neighborly present left for Piglet." "The bees have been quite busy at the old bee tree lately," said Owl. "Perhaps you can get a fill up there." "That's a good idea, Owl, but it's such a long way," sighed Pooh. "Come along," said Owl. "We'll take the shortcut through the woods." So they walked together until they came to an open place in the middle of the forest, and in the middle of this place was the old bee tree. Pooh could hear a loud buzzing near the top. Up, 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 he climbed. "Go up higher," called Owl. "Past the bees to the very top of the tree. Now, look all around you. What do you see?" The 100-acre wood was spread out below him. "Our neighborhood," cried Pooh. "Oh, our beautiful home." "That's the owl's eye view," said Owl grandly. "Oh, I can see poor Piglet out sweeping his walk," said Pooh. "Looks like he could use some company." So Pooh filled the honey pot once more, and he and Owl went to Piglet's house for supper. The end.